This episode is brought to you by all of our patrons. To become a patron, head over to patreon.com/makeusbetter. This week's executive producers are Nick from Next Level Games, Joel Brooks, and James Johnson. Also, thank you to Matthew Knight, our newest patron.
Welcome to episode 7 of the Nintendo PlayStation Podcast. I am Bobby, the Nintendo Guru, joined by my best friend in all the land, Mr. Afro Johnson. What's up, Toby? What the heck, dude? What did you do to your hair, man?
Dude, I washed it this morning, and I blow dried it, and I'm using a new shampoo, and it's just gone a bit...
A bit?
A little bit poofy.
Dude, I did not realize you had that much hair on. That is a wig, dude. There is no way there's that much hair on your head.
What the hell? Don't even accuse me of wearing a wig, Bobby. It's my actual hair.
Dude, it came out of nowhere. You didn't have that much hair last week.
It does this. I don't know. Every now and then it just gets big. I can't help it, Bobby.
What the hell, dude? That is insanity. I've never, man...
Come on,
you look like Michael Jackson when he was back with the Jackson 5 in the 70s, man.
My hair's got my brother's got curly hair, like tight curly hair like
Good
this as well.
Lord, have you ever seen Michael Jackson's album Off the Wall?
Yeah.
That's what you look like. If you put a little tuxedo suit on, that's what you would look like right now.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Oh my Lord, man. Oh, anyway. How you doing, Toby?
I'm doing alright, thanks. How are you?
I'm a little tired, Toby.
Yeah, I know. I know what you were up to last night.
Oh my Lord, dude.
Bobby was up until 2 a.m. in the morning, splatting everywhere.
Yes. Dude, it was so much fun. It's been the greatest weekend of my life. Next to, in my older age. Dude, I've had such a blast playing with the community. Like, every time I look up, there's people just joining. And it's like, and then I did live streams. I've been doing live streams all weekend, doing them at like 2 hours at a clip. And I enjoyed watching you take out Mark from the Walk Whistle podcast. that was good. After he killed me like 10 times.
Yeah.
But the thing is like, I put my friend code up there, and then like after every so many matches, if I saw like I got a friend request, I would jump out, accept the people, and then jump back in the games and then have them come join me. It was so much fun, dude. It's been such a blast this weekend. Friday night, the whole Super Indie podcast, there was about 8 of us that all played together, and we were all on Discord talking and playing at the same time.
So how was Discord?
Discord is good. Discord is fine. It's better
than Skype.
I like Skype better because I like video chat.
Yeah.
Like if I call Sean on Skype, it's no different than like how we played Minecraft one day.
Yeah.
Like I want to be able to play. So if you and I were playing Splatoon 2, and I would put the video chat on, and I would like basically play on my TV and be able to look at you at the same time.
Yeah.
Just because I don't know, that just feels to me it makes it harkens it back to couch co-op days.
Yeah,
it's the closest you can get because I'm like the odds of me being in the same room as Sean playing Splatoon 2. It's going to happen once in a great while and that's only going to happen if he comes to New York and I go up there and we meet or whatever. But like for the most part, it's not going to happen. But like. So if I can just like click on the camera and sit there and be like, "Hey, let's play," and I look over, "Hey, Sean, we can talk," and then it's a lot of fun, dude. It is, and this game has been so much fun. And dude, I've been insane, like as far as like top of the leaders every.
Yeah, you always have been, Bobby. You're good at that game.
I'm good at that game, man. It is. Yeah. I was playing last night. I jumped in with. I don't think you ever met Ray. Ray Strazdaz, YouTuber. And he was a guest on If We Ran Nintendo a while back, But he's a pretty big YouTuber. He does a lot of stuff for Nintendo. Nintendo gives him games and all that stuff. And so last night I saw he was playing. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go play with Ray. So I jumped in.
Yeah.
And then we started playing, and we were also playing with Amiibo UCG. That's the Twitter handle. So we're playing against them, right? We're all playing together. Those two kept getting teamed up on the same team, and I'm on the other team. And I'm like cranking out the high scores. So after we get done playing, Ray tweets out like, "Oh man, it was so much fun. I got to play with Nintendo Gurus and Amiibo UCG." And then Amiibo UCG comes back and goes, "Dude, Nintendo Gurus is such a beast." I was like, holy cow. I was like, it was fun. I got some scores. And then Ray comes back and goes, "Yeah, dude, he was a monster." He's like, "I did get a couple good shots on him." He said, "But man," I was like,
yeah, that's awesome.
I'll
probably pick it up next weekend.
You got to, man. It is so much fun. And then, it's the nice thing is like I haven't used the Nintendo app yet, so I'm not 100% sure how that works. The only thing I don't like about the Nintendo app so far with Splatoon is, with the voice chat, is the fact of like, you can only use it in certain modes. So it's not available. Like if the way I was playing the past couple of days, I wouldn't be able to talk to anybody at all. Mm-hmm. It would just be like, how it is. Yeah. Because there's no way to link up. If you do private matches, then it links up.
There should be an option, because I love trash talking people on the opposite team. Like that's one of the main reasons I like playing online games. Yeah. So
and you wouldn't even be able to. And with this app, you can't even do that. You can trash talk after the matches, but you can't trash talk during the matches.
Yeah.
I don't know. With a game like Splatoon, I don't mind that it would break me off and let me play, and then come back in. But dude, we were playing on the other night. I was like, you know how I can get when I'm playing with people.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give a call out to Jason Lacey from Flux Deposed. Dude, he was crushing me. Like, just killing me over and over and over. And I couldn't get a leg up. Like, even if I got a shot on him, he would spin real quick and kill me. I was getting so pissed, right? And this one time, dude, I lit him up. And I just yell. I'm like, "Eat my balls, Jason Lacey. Eat my balls." He was like, the whole thing's like, "Bobby, what the hell?" I'm like, "No, man. I'm tired of him killing me every Tuesday. I finally got you, man." It was it was so much fun, dude.
That would be like a great little sound clip if someone could take that sound out.
Yeah, just pull that out. So, let's kick this episode off like we do each and every episode with our Geek Outs.
Geek Outs.
That was so much enthusiasm right there, too.
Geek Outs.
Geek Outs. What are you geeking out about?
I'm geeking out about the fact that I found out that my baby is going to be a little girl.
Roberta Stevana Thornton. Greatest name ever. You've been ignoring it all week, and I'm tired of it. You're going to admit it right now. That's going to be the name. That's nonsense.
No, Bob.
No, that's a horrible name. You don't want to put a kid through that. That's bad.
That is bad.
It's a good name of Zelda?
The thought has crossed my mind.
Name her Zelda, and then Link will try to cross the seas one day to find her.
Yeah. God, too funny.
So you're having a girl.
Yeah.
What?
So Karina, like, she didn't want to say that she had a preference, but like,
well, nobody wants to say they have a preference.
No, but I think deep down she really wanted a girl, so she's really happy, and I'm really happy as well. So I think it's going to be cool.
You're screwed, brother. You're screwed. If you're going to have anything, you want to have a boy. Boys are. Yeah,
one thing is, like, we was around Karina's sister's baby shower on Saturday, and a couple of people there, well, a lot of people there had children, and we were like asking a lot of questions, like, are girls harder work than boys and stuff? And surprisingly, a lot of them said that girls are easier, at least at first.
Crack? No, man.
Because, like,
emotional.
No, because,
bro.
like, yeah, they are emotional, but they one of them was saying that she knows her own mind more, and she can sort of be given something to do, and then she'll just focus all her attention on that. Whereas their boy is a bit more all over the place. He's got a shorter attention.
Boys are stupid.
He wants to he's always thinking about the next thing and running around, hyperactive and stuff. So
we're always getting into stuff. We're always doing we're wiry, in our youth. We're stupid. We do the dumbest things in the world. But girls are an emotional wreck at an early age. They cry about everything. I got a nephew and a niece, dude. It's the way it was. Like, my niece was just like, although she was kind of tough because my brother wouldn't allow that stuff. He'd be like, if they hurt themselves, he's like, you're fine. You're not crying. Don't cry. And they wouldn't cry, man. They never cried. But it was just different. You know what I mean? Like, I could roughhouse with my nephew. I couldn't do that with my niece because she'd get all like, no, don't do that. Like, just hold me and stuff. I'm like, come on, man. I want to just throw you across the room, man. Stop.
I don't know, man. I might have a really tough girl. You never know.
This is true. Well, no, look at you. That's not going to happen.
Screw that. So if anyone has any advice about having a daughter and how that, how to handle that, just leave it in the comments. I'm looking for anything.
Just put her up for adoption now. You're fine. Just go to the adoption agency. Put her up for it's over. Don't worry about it. Now, the other problem with girls is this. One day, a boy is going to come knocking.
Yeah. And
I don't think you can handle that situation. I don't think you're intimidating enough to handle that situation. Like me, could you imagine someone coming to my door to take my daughter out?
Try to be nice to Mr. Bobby.
It'd be the biggest mistake of their lives. I'd be like, come take a seat, bro. We're gonna have a conversation. You even brush up against my daughter. Your elbow touches her elbow. I'm gonna smash your face in.
It'll be like my VR game that I was telling you about. Like, you invite them round, vet them at the dinner table. Like, you've made a big bowl of spaghetti.
There's no vetting. It's full-on intimidation.
Yeah.
I would actually...
They're trying to, slurp their spaghetti up without spilling any on
I wouldn't care how you eat.
Tablecloth.
I'm just saying, stay in your lane, bro. If you step anywhere out, I'm going to freight train you. It's just going to happen. I would actually what I would do is go to their house before the first date, and I would have a conversation with his father and him at the same time. And I would just tell him in no uncertain terms, if your son F's up, I'm coming to kill you and your son. So it's real simple. You better raise this kid with strong morals. Because if you did not, I promise you, you both will not be alive come tomorrow. So think twice before you send your kid over to pick my daughter up. Because he better be on his P's and Q's.
I'm glad you're not Karina's dad. Say that.
You wouldn't be married today, man. I tell you. Oh man, I'm very, that's how it was with my niece, man. She'll, I don't see her as much as I used to, but when she first started dating, she would everybody in the family was like, congratulations, and you would see me who said you're allowed to date? And she'd be like, Uncle Bobby, stop it. I'm like, no. Who said you're allowed to date? It's not happening. End it now. It's only going to end ugly for you. But my brother freaks out because she's a very beautiful girl, and my brother just cringes every time because he's like, no. As he raised her, he's like, no. You're gonna be a nun. Don't worry about it. And my mom would be like, you need grandbabies and stuff. He's like, no. I have Tony for that. I don't need Ashlyn. Ashlyn's gonna be a nun. Don't worry about it. She's gonna take care of Daddy for the rest of her life and stuff. It's so funny, man. It's so funny. But myself, I'm geeking out about the trailer for Justice League that got shown yesterday at San Diego Comic-Con. Holy cow, dude. You want to talk about excited? I was freaking out when I had chills the whole time I watched it. I was like, this thing is going to be amazing. I cannot wait for this. This is just excitement to the core, man. It was did you see the Justice League destroy the set at Comic-Con?
No.
They got real excited. They were trying to keep the crowd hyped after it. Yeah. And they were smashing their chairs and flipping the tables over and stuff. It was nuts, dude. It was so cool. I loved it. I loved it. But yeah, so
awesome.
What topics? I guess we'll do my topic first this week, since we did yours first last week. Does anything on the 3DS interest you moving forward? And when is it time for Nintendo to pull the plug on it? So, I mean, it's obvious with the Switch how powerful and how strong the sales are with the Nintendo Switch. Like, it's...
Yeah.
I feel like it's only a matter of time. But Nintendo, you know, at E3, they showed a lot of new 3DS games. But it's not a strong lineup by any stretch of the imagination. Is there anything that's coming to the 3DS that you're like, I can't wait for this?
I don't know, really. I mean, I think the Metroid Samus Returns is probably the top spot.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, there's no, like, major game that I'm through the roof excited for the 3DS.
I feel like what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy up some games for the 3DS.
Yeah.
Ever Oasis, I'm going to buy.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy... I'm definitely buying Metroid. I think there's anything else. I'm definitely going to buy Chicken Wiggle.
Oh, yeah. That's another one I'm looking forward to. Yeah.
And I'm just going to store them. Chicken Wiggle I'm going to put time in because I love Jules' work. I definitely want to give him the benefit of the doubt and play that. And
yeah, that's not exactly like a 40-hour RPG.
No. It's not like Metroid where I got to put like 20, 30 hours in. Chicken Wiggle, I could like just pop it open, play a couple levels, shut it, and then.
Are you going to make any levels?
I might try because I had fun making levels in Mario Maker. I really did have a lot of fun. That was my favorite part of Mario Maker. And I kind of think that if Mario Maker would have done what I keep saying in my videos, like Chicken Wiggle is what Mario Maker should have been across the board.
Have you seen Mega Man Maker?
No.
Oh, you've not seen this?
No, that's not legit, is it?
It's not legit Capcom, but
yeah.
Fans have made their own Mega Man Maker for PC.
Really?
And you can share levels. There's servers and everything. You can you can do everything, and it's so polished as well. It's not like janky. It's actually like a real Mega Man Maker. It's insane.
Now I gotta check that out. I haven't seen it. But I feel like Chicken Wiggle is a solid game, and I'm definitely gonna check it out when it hits. But like, I don't know, man. I don't know. And the other thing too is like, I know I'll buy Chicken Wiggle on 3DS, but if it comes to Switch, which I have a feeling it'll come, I know I'll dump a lot more time into it on Switch. I'm going to buy it on 3DS. I'm going to play it. I'm going to spend time with it. You know, build some levels. I want to beat the game. Definitely want to beat the game. And then we'll go from there. My feeling is that though, and my feeling on everything is I'd just rather it be on the Switch because I would like to just play everything on the Switch and be done. Like, I play that thing all the time as it is.
Yeah.
I used to take my 3DS everywhere. Now I take my Switch everywhere. And, you know, I play it as much as I possibly can. Like, I take my Switch to work every day. I play it on my lunch break. Like, I just can't get enough of this thing. So, and especially with Splatoon, like, I guarantee you I'll drop 200 hours in the Splatoon. Like, I just can't stop playing this game. So, but so when do you think Nintendo pulls the plug?
I think they really should just, like, it's hard to say because, I feel like at the moment there's no new games that Nintendo have gone, right, we're going to make a brand new 3DS game. I feel like any games that are coming out for it have been in development for a while. So, you know, I think that once they're all done, I think they're just going to stop because they've already stopped production on certain 3DS versions of the console. Yeah. And obviously the Switch is taking off. So I think they really need to switch tracks and just concentrate fully on the Nintendo Switch. So
I agree too. Yeah. I really feel like Nintendo needs to concentrate on one console.
Yeah. That's where their strength is at the moment because they're the Wii U struggled so much because it had such huge gaps between games, and the games were good, but
you look at this, there's no gaps. There's no gaps in the Switch.
Yeah, every month a big game's coming out on Switch,
and that's huge. So, you know what I mean? Like, I know I tweeted at Colin Moriarty this week, and then I posted it in the Nintendo Guru Facebook group, and people kind of gave me, a hard time about it because Colin always talks about Nintendo or talks about the Switch and says how PlayStation's launch was amazing. And I don't think it was amazing. I don't think PlayStation 4's launch was that amazing. Like, there was a couple decent games in it.
I think it was good, but it wasn't mind-blowing.
No, but I look at what Nintendo is doing, and yes, launch day was not mind-blowing. I mean, dude, you're taking they put Zelda on there.
Yeah.
And it's nonsense about, like, it's not an exclusive. Save it. Please, because there wasn't that many. There was no true, like, mind-blowing exclusives. And at the end of the day, like, it was exclusive to me because I didn't buy it on Wii U. I don't care that it was on the Wii U. I didn't buy it on Wii U. I didn't play it on Wii U. I played it on the Switch. Like, there's a lot of people that either played it on the Switch or the Wii U. Who cares if it was exclusive to the Switch or not? It doesn't matter. They sold 2 million units of the Switch.
Yeah.
And every single one that sold bought a copy of the game.
Yeah, like, it doesn't take anything away from the Switch having that game on both systems.
And anybody that thinks it does, it makes me just shake my head at you. Like, it's like, come on. But so when I look at that, I go, hey, man, I look at his comments and I just feel like, dude, please, what are you talking about? And when I look at, like, overall through the year, like, you got Splatoon, you got Splatoon 2, you got ARMS, you got Mario Kart 8, you're going to get Mario Rabbids, you're going to get, Skyrim on there, you're going to get WWE 2K18, like, and not only that, like, Mario Odyssey, Fire Emblem Warriors, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Like,
two of the best games ever are going to be out this year.
Exactly.
Zelda and Mario Odyssey.
How can anybody talk trash about that? Blows me away, man. It just really does. I don't get it, man. So I feel like overall, year one of the Switch is going to be one of the biggest gaming launches ever,
definitely.
Man.
And I think they need to keep that momentum into 2018. Like, absolutely. As long as they keep it up and they concentrate their efforts. In fact, year two could be even better, like, because they won't be concentrating on 3DS as much.
I remember people talking about, like, when they tried to compare it to, like, even consoles of old. And sometimes they'll go like, well, Nintendo 64. Dude, Nintendo 64 came out with Pilot Wings and Mario 64. That was it. Two games.
The only games.
But guess what? They had one of the greatest games ever on that console. It's the same thing here.
And that's all that matters.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I don't care if they only had, well, it wound up being 12 games. But at the beginning, it was like 5 games. So what? You have one of the greatest games ever is going to be on that console. And guess what? Nobody talked about anything except for Zelda for the rest of, for at least the first 4 months. That's all you ever heard. And even against Horizon, which was an exclusive to Sony, dude, nobody talked about Horizon. They were I don't want to say nobody. There was a small pocket of people, like, talking about Horizon, but all the hype was on Zelda. And that's just the way it is. And I think in a lot of circles, Zelda's going to be the game of the year. So there's nothing to even debate. When it goes down as game of the year, then I look at comments that Colin's making, and I just go, what now? Like, you have the game of the year, man. So what more do you need? It doesn't make sense to me. So I don't know. I got off on a little tangent there. But I feel like, with that said, like, I feel like they need to focus on the Switch to keep this momentum going, to keep the drive going, and to keep pushing forward with it. So to do that, though, if you're constantly looking back in the mirror at this other handle, because ultimately you're getting exactly what you need. You got the portable still with this. You have the home console with this. Mm-hmm. You need to utilize it. You need to do what you're doing with it, and focus more on this console than you are with, the 3DS. And they need to get their eyes on it and pushing forward, because I think look at Japan. 3,000 people show up to get a raffle ticket to hopefully win the rights to buy a Switch. And that's
insane.
And they only had 250 of them in stock. They did a restock in Japan. They sold out of all their Switches in 180 seconds. That's 3 minutes, dude. Right now.
They just can't crank them out fast enough.
6 minutes they sold out everything. That is crazy, dude. That's just mind-blowing, the numbers. So, I don't know. Mm-hmm. Toby, what is your topic?
So my topic is everything old is new again. Crash Bandicoot, Wipeout, Parappa. But what are some of today's games that you can see being remade or remastered in 20 years' time?
I think there's a few. I think you would definitely see Uncharted.
Do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, dude, they haven't even gone 20 years and they already remastered it. So
yeah, the thing is, right, so the way I see this is that today's games, they look so unbelievably good, and I know it's hard to see the future and to see where graphics are going to go, because back then on the N64 and PlayStation, we was like, graphics aren't getting better than this, but they did. They got a lot better. Yeah. But I think that,
dude,
Toby, I really think
PlayStation 3, I thought that, and then I saw what Naughty Dog did with Uncharted 4, and I was like, holy crap!
But
dude.
I feel like the incremental changes in graphics now are slowing down. Like, but PlayStation 3 to PlayStation 4 is not a huge leap graphically.
Toby, look at Uncharted 1.
Yeah, but that was at the very start of the PS3.
But that's
Uncharted 3 to Uncharted 4, not as huge of a gap.
But I'm just saying, you're going to see in 20 years' time people clamoring, because I think Uncharted is done. I think after they do this little side quest mission thing, whatever they do, it's done. I don't think they're going to keep pushing with the series. I think it's over. So in 20 years' time, it's kind of like Crash. Like, Naughty Dog put it away, and it went away.
Yeah. I think, though, that what we're going to see in the future is more independent games getting remade.
Yeah, but that's not really Sony.
Well, The Witness is on PlayStation 4. I don't know if is that on Xbox as well. It was. I don't know.
I don't know.
But anyway, like, it doesn't matter if it's exclusive or not. Like, I was gonna say, The Witcher and Batman would be good AAA games to remaster in 20 years. But I think we're gonna see more of these independent developers games remastered in the future, like the SteamWorld series, Rogue Legacy, Stardew Valley. Because at the moment, like, these companies are small and they don't necessarily have the budget to make these games graphically intensive. A lot of it is a stylistic choice, you know, with the pixel graphics for Stardew Valley. But in the future, when the tools are much easier and cheaper and these companies grow, I feel like they might want to revisit their catalog and upgrade their older games.
I think if anybody... the indie scene wouldn't do it as much, only depending on how big they grow. So here's a hypothetical. If Image and Form basically stay, I mean, you see them growing as it is, but in 20 years' time, if they're still relatively the same size, you know what I mean? I don't see them going back and redoing their games. And the reason why I say that is because they're going to want to keep pushing forward. They're going to want to keep doing new stuff. They're going to want to keep pushing the envelope. Same thing with Zoink. I don't know how big Stardew Valley is. I think a team like Yacht Club, that's possible. Because Yacht Club, I feel, is more... I think Yacht Club is going to grow more rapid. It depends on their next games. But if their next game is as big as Shovel Knight was... I think they're going to continue to grow pretty rapidly, and you're going to see. But I'm not sure how much they have in the tank in terms of, like, they made a lot of money on Kickstarter, and they made a lot of money overall. But man, they also gave a lot of stuff away for free to honor the Kickstarter. You know, like all them extra expansions and stuff. But I think that if the company, I think ultimately with indies, it just depends on how much they grow and how long they continue to grow. I'm sure Yeah, in 20 years' time, they'd all like to maybe go back and relook at their catalog and see, like, maybe there's something we want to put out. I think a game like Ukulele would probably see an update more than anything else.
I think that it depends as well on how well received these characters and these games are.
Yeah.
You said Shovel Knight. People will love Shovel Knight. That is a huge character. People are growing up loving Shovel Knight as kids, and when they're older, they're going to want to have that nostalgic kick of that game again.
But I feel like you don't update that game. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like Mario and all those games. You don't update them. The reason why we see such, like, this is my opinion. The reason why we see updates the way we see updates is because in that PlayStation 1, Nintendo 64 era, the games, when you look back at them, are so horrible looking that it's hard to go back and play. And the controls, because they were just learning how to do 3D at that time, the controls were not on par and the best. So you see these companies going back to those games because those are the games that kind of call for it a little bit.
All right, so what about Devil's Third then? Because that game looks awful, controls bad, but
well, that game should have never got made in the first place. But let's just for sake of conversation, let's say that Devil's Third sold like gangbusters, right?
Yeah,
huge sale, like just 5 million units.
If that was the case, then it would be ripe for a remake in 10, 15 years. Like,
but a game that, because that's one that, there was some collision detection, there was all kind. Barry Dunn swears up and down it's the greatest game ever on the Wii U. He is delusional as hell, but he's Irish, so that's expected.
I wonder if games like Red Steel, like old Wii games, because the thing is with the Wii is because it's not HD, a lot of those games don't look great now. And like Zack and Wiki, like people still love a lot of old Wii games, and I would love to see those get a proper remake.
I've been saying all a while, like I want to see Galaxy 1 and 2.
Exactly. So I think maybe that's the key. Is like the Wii could have a resurgence in
the Wii
a number of years.
Yeah, the Wii could definitely do it. And Nintendo's big enough that when they go like, okay, it's time to remake, because that's ultimately what you see. When you're looking back 20 years ago, right? It's all the big AAA first-party developers that are redoing games. Occasionally, you'll get like Resident Evil, because Capcom's a big company. They can afford to work on multiple projects at the same time. That's what I'm saying when I say indie developers. Like, they have to get big enough where they have multiple teams where one could be working on this while the others are working on something new. And that's what Capcom has. That's what, that's what Konami has. Although Konami's not really making games anymore. But I'm just saying, like, those types of companies are big enough that they could do that and do stuff like that. I think you could see Capcom doing Monster Hunters over again, like remastering Monster Hunters. I really do. I mean, honestly, in my mind's eye, I was thinking, like, what games are coming out now that 20 years from now would get remade and remastered? I really do feel you'll see Uncharted. I really feel you'll see Last of Us. I really feel you'll find, I don't know that they might do, Ratchet and Clank, because that game sold pretty good.
What about like the Dark Souls series or Bloodborne? Like
Bloodborne, possibly, because that's a Sony like exclusive type deal. I could see Sony like going, "Hey, let's bring this game back and redo it again." Otherwise, I don't know that From Software would really.
And the thing is, we have to think as well that these games have to have a gap where no games are made, because there's no point bringing Batman back if they're still going to make Batman games for the next 20 years.
Because look at they did Arkham, they did the Back to Arkham series where it was Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. They remastered them for the PS4 and the Xbox One. So I think even PS3 games you'll see, because the other thing with PS3 was they really weren't running up to snuff. Like they were struggling to get it at 1080p. And running 60 frames. So as time moved on and they figured out how to do all this, I feel like they want to go back and fix some of that stuff. Because you look at Last of Us, they moved it from 30 to 60 frames. You know, they ran it 1080, 60.
And what's the resolution going to be in 20 years?
Oh, dude. Well, you think about it. Like, 8K is coming next, right? And there's already 8K TVs out there.
I don't know, man. It's going to get to a point where we can't tell the difference
between reality and
well, like in resolution, like can the human eye tell the difference between 4K and 8K? Like,
oh, I'm sure you can tell the difference between 4K and 8K.
There's got to be a limit, though. Is what I mean.
You can't tell the difference. I really truly believe this. Like, I can tell the difference between 1080 and 4K now. But at first, when I looked at it, if I looked at them in separate rooms, I don't know that if you put a really good 4K TV or if you put a really good 1080p TV in front of me, that I would really tell the difference right away. Now I could tell. Now I can see the difference. But I just assume that as time moves on, you know, it's going to get to that point where unless you put them side by side, it's going to be hard to tell, you know? When you go into a store and they have all the TVs out, if they have really high-end, you know, 1080p TVs and you put it against a low-end 4K, I think that it's hard to tell the difference. Now, if you take the top of the line, which most people can't even afford to buy, 4K TV, and you put it against a top of the line 1080p, I think there's an absolute difference. And it's easy to tell the difference. You know, but if you don't have them high quality TVs, you can't tell the difference between them. Like if you go into here we have Best Buys or whatever, and if you go to a Best Buy and they don't have, like, you could buy a TV. Like, I got a TV right here, right? It's called Insignia. It's a cheap Best Buy, like a no-frills, low-bottom TV. It's a 32-inch TV. It runs 1080, right? Dude, it looked fine to the eye, but it's not great, you know? Yeah. But when you compare it to my bigger TVs, dude, it's a night and day, man. And then the other thing, too, is, like, when you look at TVs, too, a lot of times when you buy them, it all depends on, you're buying, like, ports and stuff. Like, so how many HDMI ports are you getting and all that stuff built into it. So that's all changed the price as well. But, like, you look at quality, picture quality. So if they're talking 8K now, man, you're probably looking, what could it be in 20 years? Like maybe 64K? I don't know.
I just don't think. Yeah, like even if they can do that, I don't think they will because I don't. Oh,
I think they will. You give. I mean, they might not be calling it 64K.
Like, unless everyone's got a TV like that's the size of their entire wall, like, then you're not going to be able to tell.
I don't know, man. I don't know that that's true. I think that you're going to have, well, because I think people are going to want to keep buying bigger and bigger and bigger. It's just a human way, man. You always want to try to get
people like it big.
I got a 70-inch TV right now. I'd love to get a 90 in my living room. It's just it's nice. I think the next one's.
You know what? I think the games are going to have to adapt to big TVs.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you think if you're sitting in front of a TV that's like going to be 100 inches or something ridiculous, and like you're playing a shooter, then like you have to like move your head around to see the corners of the TV. Like, you know, your health bar's in the top left.
Well,
but like,
here's the thing. So
man,
when you go if you go onto Best Buy's website before you buy a television, they tell you how far is your chairs from the TV going to be, and they tell you the proper distance that your chair should be. So just because you get a bigger TV doesn't mean that your chair should stay where it is. I literally, when we bought we bought the 70-inch TV, I had to move my chair back. I was getting a headache from I was too close to the television ultimately. So what am I going to move my chair back to the kitchen if I get a bigger TV? Like, I think 70 inches.
Get further and further back.
I think 70 inches. I'll be in like the other room. I'll be like, Tony, can you turn the TV up? I can't hear it from back here.
You end up needing a telescope to see your TV.
Yeah, it's you know, ultimately, like, you know, it's just what happens. So I think what the size TV I have is going to be the max that I'll go. It's just a matter of the quality of the picture is the only thing I'll change now. Because, like I said, I would love to go 90, but I know I'd have to move my chair back another 5 feet in order to like see it properly and not have headaches and stuff. Because you're right, you'd have to like look left or you need it to be like when you're looking at it, you're picking up the picture.
Yeah,
and you don't need to like look left or right and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump into some hot off the presses. I will go first with this one. SNES Classic pre-orders go up. The next Splatfest is announced, and Pokemon Go Festival issues.
Let's go Splatfest.
Really?
I don't know what it is, Bobby.
That's the worst.
All right, forget it then. If it's not
no, you picked it. We got to go with it.
No, I don't care. I don't know about it anymore.
No.
Tell me about the SNES Classic pre-orders.
Okay, so Friday night, around 11 o'clock at night, Walmart puts up the Super Nintendo Classic for pre-orders.
Okay.
Sells out, relatively quickly, but not too bad. Mm-hmm. People are freaking out because it's like, dude, again, we didn't know they were going up. It's just in the middle of the night. We didn't get them, blah, blah, blah. But it seems like it was a mistake, and it shouldn't have happened. So now people are starting to get their orders canceled now.
Okay.
And we're not 100% sure what happens. Last night on Nintendo Talk Live, I had Marty Estes on from Nintendo Dads. One of their fans sent them, because they have like a line chat where everybody could talk. He sent a letter that he got from Walmart because he contacted them and said, I just want to make sure everything's okay with my order. I think I got canceled. I want to make sure. And they're like, there was an error. This shouldn't have gone up. I think what they were trying to do was they were trying to set the placeholder page, and someone mistakenly put it up to go live, and people pre-ordered it, and now Walmart's like, oh, because what happens, the way pre-orders work is this: if the NES Classic, Target did the same thing, right? Target put them up for pre-order, but then they started canceling them, because what happens is Nintendo doesn't tell them to put them up for pre-order. So they go and they sell them on pre-order. And then they oversell what actually Nintendo gives them. Mm-hmm. And then they're like, oh man. And Nintendo's like, that's what you're getting. We didn't tell you to put them up for pre-order. You put them up for pre-order. That's all we're allotting you. We're not taking away from the other guys to give you more now. So essentially that's what's going to happen is because Nintendo wasn't ready and didn't give their commitment to Walmart, it looks like if Walmart honors the pre-orders, then they might have to cancel orders because they don't get as many as they were supposed to get. Or it could be that they do keep them just because they do get the commitment from Nintendo. But from everybody that's talking, it doesn't look like they were supposed to go up at all.
So would you rather them cancel everyone's pre-order and then say, this is the time that they're going to be going up to give everyone a fair chance, and then do it again?
Just let them have it. Because I look at it like this. Like, I don't get upset about this because I go, that one's down. I still got 4 more chances to get this thing. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't panic when the first one goes up. I never panic. I had no intentions of buying from Walmart anyway. There's only 2 places I'm going to try to buy this thing from. That's Best Buy and Amazon. Mm-hmm. And that's it. The rest of them, it is what it is. If I can get it from them, I'll get it from them. But I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to freak out. I'm just going to give it a shot and see what happens. Walmart is never on my radar to try for. Mm-hmm. It's always my last option, as it is. This one went up. I went to the website. Dude, I was so tapped from everything I bought on Friday. I couldn't afford to buy it anyway. Yeah. Dude, between all the amiibo I got, between the Pro Controller I bought, between the 2 games, I bought Tony a carrying case. Dude, I was tapped. I had nothing left. So it hit at the absolute worst time for me. Because I was like, got no money, can't do anything. I just spent like $200 today, more than that. I spent almost $300 on a Friday. I was like, there's no way I can afford this thing. Like, it's done, game over, man. So, I just had to let it go. I had to pass on it. So, I'm not going to begrudge people. I'm not like, no, you have to take it all away from all them now because I need my fair share or my fair shot. No, listen, they put it up. Whether it was a mistake or legit, that is what it is. I didn't get it. It's not the end of the world. If I get this thing, I get it. If I don't, I don't. I'm not freaking out about it. Would I like to get it? Absolutely. For me, it's more I'd rather have the controller than anything. You know what I mean? Like, just because I like to... I still have my Wii. Well, I mean, I still have my Wii U. So I like to play the virtual console games that way. You know what I mean? Like, rather than turning the Wiimote to the side, I'd like to just plug the controller in the bottom and play that way.
Yeah.
To play with a natural controller. So for me, it's not the end of the world. If I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. I'd like to get one, absolutely, but I'm not gonna freak out if I can't. Like, it's just, it is what it is. I'm also a little bit relaxed because I might have one on the back burner from England.
Yeah, you might.
So I'm not. That kind of helps me a little bit. But it's still not my SNES Classic. Just because I want the one with the purple buttons and stuff.
Yeah, and you want the weird looking one.
Stop it. Just because you were like everybody else in the world and yours is just common like all the rest of the sheep. Mine is special. Don't get mad at me.
The ugly duckling. That's what you've got.
You're messed up. You're not right.
All right, let's go over some PlayStation news.
Go ahead.
So we've got news number 1, pre-order shenanigans. News number 2, Ghost Recon PvP. News number 3, indie dev gets game running native 4K PS4 Pro.
I want to go to the pre-order thing.
All right, so you can pre-order Need for Speed Payback, and you receive exclusive Platinum Blue Tire Smoke as your pre-order bonus. You'll also get the Platinum Car Pack, which comprises of 5 exclusive vehicles, including Dodge Charger, Volkswagen Golf GTI Club Sport. They'll all be equipable with the aforementioned Platinum Blue Tire Smoke, but only for those cars. So the question is this pre-order bonus purposefully bad as like a headline grabber? Because that's got to be one of the worst pre-order things ever. Like tire smoke.
Who the hell cares what color the smoke is coming off your tires?
Yeah, and you can't. And the fact that you can only use it on the cars included in the pack, not all of the cars in the game, just the ones in that pack, is ridiculous.
Who the hell thought that was a good idea for a DLC or a pre-order bonus?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I get the exclusive cars. Like that would make sense. You know what I mean? Because it's like, okay, if I pre-order, I'm getting this car. That
I think the only exclusive thing is the tire smoke.
What?
I think you can buy the Platinum Car Pack separately. So
that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. That is the absolute dumbest thing I've ever... What? This is why people don't like EA. You know what I mean? Like, you're doing stupid stuff like this. This is horrible, man. What the hell is wrong with these guys?
I think it could be on purpose. Like,
oh, dude. I mean, obviously, because you're getting people to talk about the game.
Yeah.
But, man, that is bad. So I wonder if they change the pre-order bonus, right? Let's just say, hypothetically, in a month's time. I don't know when the game launches, but let's just say in a month's time, they go, okay, we're now going to give you this exclusive car. Mm-hmm. You know what? It could have just been a PR thing. Mm-hmm. Because then maybe they always intended on giving that car, but they were just like, let's just put this out, have people freak out about it,
Yeah, so it makes it look like, oh, we're doing you a favor. We're nice. We're making things right.
We're fixing things. We looked at it, and you're right. This isn't really, the value isn't here.
Yeah,
But
we listen.
a pre-order bonus, honestly, is just whatever anymore. You know what I mean? Like, there was always a time. Like, I remember when Batman Arkham City came out. Mm-hmm. Depending on where you pre-ordered the game, you got a different Batman outfit, Batman suit that you could unlock and use within the game. And all those suits weren't available everywhere. So you had to think, like, okay, which one of the 4 places is my favorite Batman suit? And I'm going to go for it. Like, they had Batman, the animated series. And they had, mine I went for was GameStop because they had Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns Batman outfit. Yeah. And I was like, dude, I want to play as Batman as an old man. Like, that's, yes. So I went and bought the GameStop one. But then, like, they also did weird things during that time. Was like, if you bought a Monster Energy drink, it had a code on it. And you put the code in, and it gave you a different Batman. It gave you Batman Beyond's.
Yeah.
Suit. And then, like, if you went to 7-Eleven and you bought a Slurpee and you took the code and you put it, it gave you another one. It was like, this is madness, man. I think there was a time it just got way out of control. You don't hear about pre-order bonuses so much anymore. 2K does it a lot. Like right now, they have it where if you pre-order WWE 2K18, you get to wrestle with Kurt Angle. Like, they give you Kurt Angle as a wrestler. But like, in sports games, occasionally you'll hear it. Like if you pre-order, basically if you pre-order the show, they might give you like a player or something additional, or like a certain uniform, different. But like, you don't hear about it as much as you did at one time.
Yeah, I feel like special editions are starting to get like out of control. Like, especially the Assassin's Creed special edition.
Oh my lord, they're nuts. They're nuts with what they do. It's madness, man. I don't know. Toby, we're gonna jump into the rewind. I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah.
Because we might only have time to do one this week.
All right. So my classic game is a PlayStation 1 game that I don't think many people have heard of. It's called Crusader No Remorse. So I've basically copy-pasted some text online to give you a better idea of what the game's like. But it says, Crusader No Remorse is an isometric shooter that few people have ever played. It may have blatantly stolen its main character design from a certain Star Wars bounty hunter.
Wow.
But the gameplay here is great. Developed by Origin Systems, the game mixes shooting and puzzles within a rich and detailed world. As the crimson-clad hero, the Silencer, you have to infiltrate various facilities, bypassing security systems, hacking computers, and taking out guards to achieve your ends. To do this, you have a wide range of weapons and abilities. You can destroy a lot of objects in the world. The controls are a bit clunky, which they were. I remember they're a little bit difficult, especially being isometric. On the PlayStation 1, like, not great, but it's it's a little bit slower paced. But I think the game itself is actually really good, and it's really different as well. You don't get a lot of isometric games anymore, and even back then, like, it was just sort of a different style of third person shooter game like that. So, but I think it was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. So, yeah.
I don't know. I never heard of it. Never played it.
You should look it up. Look it up online. I encourage you.
Maybe I'll take a look at it.
It is a very cool retro game.
Yeah, maybe I'll take a look at it and see if I get any interest to it. I don't know. We got a little bit of time. I can talk about mine. Mine is Ninja Gaiden. I think I used to actually call it Ninja Gaiden when I was a kid.
Ninja gay boy.
We didn't. The funny thing is, like, we didn't know how to pronounce stuff, so you kind of just had to, like, haphazardly pronounce it out. Like, I actually called him Ryu, or I think I called him Ryu. I don't know what I called him, but I know I didn't call him the right name. Kind of like Kid Icarus. I used to call it Kid Icarus when I was a kid. But anyway, the cool thing about this, I didn't play the first one when it first came out, because it just was like, I don't know that I want to play this game. So I started with Ninja Gaiden 2 and loved it so much, I actually went back and bought the first one. Tecmo, coming off of Tecmo Bowl started to do these cutscenes. Because in Tecmo Bowl, there was a lot of cutscenes. Like when you scored a touchdown, they play like a little mini cutscene. But it was all pixel graphics and stuff.
Yeah.
So then when Ninja Gaiden came out, and Ninja Gaiden 2, they started to really push harder onto these little mini cutscenes and stuff. And it would be like you would finish a stage, and there'd be a cutscene where it would tell you a storyline and all this stuff. And then you would play again, you would beat the stage, and it would show you more. It was like so well done the way they did it, and it was so much fun. What the fuck? What was that? Like an animal just walked like an animal just walked by the window, dude. But I couldn't tell what it was.
Sure, it's not your dog?
No, dude, my dog isn't like this big, man.
Oh my god! You're like a raccoon or something.
Dude, it was weird looking, man. I don't know. Anyway, sorry about that.
Dude, that was amazing seeing your reaction. I was like, what is something? There's a bat flown in your basement.
Dude, it just threw me off, man. Holy cow! Anyway, where was I at? It was, dude, that creeped me out, man.
Yeah.
I've never seen, because, dude, I don't know. There's not much room to walk. Like, the fence is here, and then the window, like, okay, so from the fence to the window, there's probably, like, that much room.
Yeah.
And the thing just, like, walked that way, and I'm like, where the hell did it come from, dude? Wow. Anyway, sorry.
The New Jersey Beast.
Dude, what the hell, man? Anyway, Ninja Gaiden. But dude, it was such a hard game too. You know what I mean? Like man, the NES had some of the hardest games ever. And this
Didn't they
game
have knockback? Like if you got hit by an enemy, you got thrown backwards.
Oh,
like,
way back, dude. Way back.
Yeah.
And then the other problem was like if you didn't beat the stage. So the stage would have like multiple like levels or. So if you lost, it'd take you back to the beginning of the. Like if you died, you ran out of men, it'd take you all the way back to the beginning. So you'd have to play the levels over and over and over and over and over again to try to get further and further to try to beat. It's like nuts, you know? And it's like kids today that like take advantage of like the save states of like in the Wii U and all. They don't get it. Like I watch people like they go, oh, I beat Mega Man 2. And I was like, oh my god, that's so hard. How did you do this? Like, oh, I would just get to the boss and I would put a save state. And I would just keep playing until I beat the boss. I'm like, dude, that's cheating. Like, we didn't have that back in the day. Like, you would bust your butt to get to the boss. And then if you didn't beat him, you'd be so pissed because you go all the way back to the beginning of the stage and have to do it over again. And it was like, they don't, you know, and you play games today and that would be the case. Like, oh, you died? Okay, just go to you're right back at the boss. You just have to fight the boss over again. And it's like, no.
Well, not all games. I mean, there are some games that throw back to those old things. Like I was playing Mighty Gunvolt the other day.
Well, that's because that's what they're doing. They're basically taking that era and throwing it at you.
Yeah.
But I'm talking like, you know, like a Mario game today. No, they don't do that. Like Mario back in the day, like if you died on World 4-3, you went all the way back to 4-1. And you had to start all over again.
They don't want you to be biting your controller anymore. They want you to be smiling and having fun.
Well, the other thing, too, is like that's not even true. If you died on 4-3, you'd have to, I'm mistaken, you always go back to 1-1. It wasn't even back to...
No, you could go back.
You sure?
To the start of the world, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Maybe you're right. I think.
I don't know. Someone correct us if we're wrong.
No, I think you're wrong. I think you went all the way back to the very beginning. I think you're wrong, Toby. Anyway, that is all. Thank you guys. You're definitely wrong, Toby. That is all. Thank you guys for listening to us on iTunes, dayspace.com, Google Play, whatever. Google Play Store, however that works.
Google Play Store.
Check us out on YouTube. You want to definitely check us out on YouTube this week because that afro that Toby has going on is just offensive. You can follow us. Follow the show at Nin Play Podcast on Twitter. You can follow me at Nintendo Guru. You can follow Toby at Toby's_take. That is all. See you later.
I could take this wig off now. Oh, Jesus.
No, I knew it was a wig. You son of a... You scumbag. You literally wore that the whole show.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? I knew there was no way your hair...
Man. That's so itchy.
God. What is wrong with you?
Did you believe it?
Oh my God.
My hair doesn't go that big, man. Like, it does get a bit bigger when I blow dry it, but like...
What the hell? I'm like, dude, there is no... I'm like, there is no way that's his hair. I thought it was a wig at first. I was like, there's no way. There's no way. Son of a